The savior of Dokkan is coming, but should you summon on Global Dokkan Campaigns Part 2 banners? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We got another Dokkan Battle video for you here today. We are answering that age-old question. Should you summon on the Global Dokkan Campaigns Part 2 banners for LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and LR Omega Shenron? As always, in order to answer this question, we will look at the following things. Number one, we're going to take a look at the units themselves. All right, are the units good enough to justify a summon on their own? Next, we're going to take a look at the banners, right, or who we anticipate to be on their banners. And then finally, we're going to take a look at what lies ahead. If we decide to jump into part 2, what are we giving up here in the near future? So, first things first, for the units themselves, we might actually just have the easiest answer that we've ever had. Yes. The simple answer is yes. Yes, you should summon for LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and possibly Omega Shenron. Now, we don't know the first thing about their details yet, but I can tell you right now, we can take a pretty good guess about the level at which they're going to be through a few things. Number one, obviously by looking at the Part 1 banners and their level in relation to the rest of the LRs around them. They are easily standing above the rest of the game, only rivaled to that of possibly like Tech Vegito, and that's of course, all right, we know how broken his final turn is with the counters and the target, right? They are on that level, if not beyond, depending on your perspective. So we can safely assume that these two LRs will probably rival that. All right, we can also assume that based on the level that they've put into this, right, everything surrounding this part 2 versus the part 1, they're definitely putting some work in here. That would also seem to suggest to us that these are going to be really, really good units. The final sort of hint here is, of course, the banner unit. That is going to give us actually a pretty good idea of the level of the characters, right? We had the recent data download, which revealed Nova Shenron and STR Pan, and judging by Pan's kit here, right, she's probably got one of the most insane banner unit kits we've ever seen. She's offering 60% support to youth and GT allies, right, as well as providing an additional 20% for 2 turns and an additional 20% for 2 turns on her defense for 2 turns on her super attack effects, right, which is a significantly higher boost than her passive raise. Now, the thing with that is for the 2 turns, that 20% raise, she has got quite a few additionals that bump her up to, right, doing 4 supers per turn, right? So, you know, we're talking about a unit that could have the possibility of raising the next turn's defense by over 80%, right? That's insane. And if that's the level of banner unit, we can extrapolate from that the units themselves are going to be beyond whatever this pan is at. And then finally, like, if you really needed to know anything more about these units, kits aside, take a look at this.
Since the minus energy was released, it's now a matter of time before this planet is dead.
Need I say more? Are those not the best animations in Dokkan you've ever seen? Just look at the level of detail they put in here to Gogeta, right? If you summon for anything, I wouldn't blame you if it was animations alone. Just look at that. That is insane. So I'm going to go ahead and say that that is one in the category for the units itself, on nothing more than the animations alone. It just looks that good. And of course, if we extrapolate based on part 1 units and the level of that banner unit, we can assume that these units will most definitely rival the part 1 units, if not be flat out better. But of course, hey, these units don't exist in a vacuum. They will be on a banner. And of course, we do know what their banner will look like. It's going to look exactly like this. Maybe some variation on Gogeta's banner with these 4 here. Maybe some variation with these 2 here on Omega's banner. But this is what you're looking at. So, looking at Omega's banner, the Dokkan Fest banner, for example, this is the return of Vegito, right? He's not been on a banner since the 10th anniversary, and of course this marks his first return. We now know that this question mark represents the STR Pan, who's insanely good, and then of course, right, Int Broly, Merge Zamos, like all of these returning characters plus the LR4s, possibility of these two, right? This could vary, right? But I'm assuming SDR Omega Shenron is going to get a super easy A, so I mean, heck, why not put him here? And then finally, Int Gogeta, possibly, he's really the only other GT character who could possibly easy A, so he's likely to be on the banner as well, right? So automatically, the Dokkan Fest banner, even if Gogeta is better, the Dokkan Fest banner holds high value since it is returning Vegito. On the Carnival banner, returning LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, returning the LR Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, right? And then the previous worldwide LRs, along with the 9th year Gammas, and then of course some random GT units. I would say that GT Goku and obviously Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta are probably hard carrying the Carnival banner. There's definitely a lot less value here. But I mean, like, if you were to walk out of this banner, right, just summoning these 2 and then maybe pulling the 4s, you'd walk out with the biggest W on the planet. Because already the Super Saiyan 4s here are insanely good. And then, you know, the combination of these 2 guys here, even better. So I'm going to give it, you know, I'm going to go ahead and give it to the banners here. They're still incredibly valuable, as this is the only opportunity since 10th anniversary to pull the 10th anniversary characters. And I know many of you guys have been waiting on the return for several of these characters, right? If you didn't pick up Vegito during the 10th anniversary, don't know why you wouldn't have, but if you didn't, he's right here up for the grabs on this banner. And then, of course, pulling AGL Super Saiyan 4 Goku is a huge bonus on top of the new LR. So I'm going to go ahead and give it to both banners. Both banners do hold high value, even if it is just for the main returning units and the main units themselves. You're not pulling an L if you pull anything here, right? You're still getting characters that are going to be worth your stones, right? Broly still has use. Merge Zamos, very, very helpful, actually, surprisingly, in the new fights. Can't really take a super, but he is very helpful in attack and defense lowering both the new bosses. Obviously, the 4s are still incredibly valuable, and then the same goes for these guys here. So I'm going to give it both to the banners. So that's 1 in the category of summon for the units, even if it's just on the animations alone, and then 2 in the category for the banner. So all that's left is to look at what lies ahead. So we now know that we are in a post-sync world here. What the lay of the land for the remainder of the year is going to be. We know that at the end of this campaign, there will be an August Dokkan Fest happening on August 11th. Regular Dokkan Fest to you. All right, now, there's a chance that this could roll into a Part EX and they can pull something similar that they did to anniversary where we get a Dokkan Fest TUR as the part EX, such as Daimagoku, maybe, right? It could be like Super Saiyan 4 Daimagoku TUR could be placed here in that August Dokkan Fest slot in the same manner in which Super Saiyan 3 Daima Vegeta was placed at the end of Anniversary. We could see that at the end of this Global Dokkan Campaign time slot here. And then, of course, rolling into September, we have the new replacement for the Tanabata campaign. This will be a new Dokkan Fest LR. With a Part 2 Carnival, assuming it follows the previous Tanabata campaign setup, right? And it will be a new campaign entirely. The last 2 months of this year will, of course, be filled up by 2 Dokkan Fest TURs, a double rates banner in December, and then, of course, the New Year's step up, right? So there are some big things coming, but I'm going to tell you this right now: no matter what is coming beyond this celebration, right, these units will likely still remain above whatever's coming next. The new LR during Tanabata might rival some of these characters, but if you pulled for Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, for example, you're probably coasting until 11th anniversary, even if you don't manage to pick up the Tanabata LR. So even with what lies ahead, I still think you're going to be in a good position, because obviously you shouldn't be summoning on too much on the Dokkan Fest TURs throughout the rest of the year. So, I mean, you're really only majorly missing an LR that is likely to return during the Saiyan Day campaign in the following year. So I wouldn't worry too much on that. So pretty... I mean, it's pretty straightforward here. Even if you summon on the Part 2 banners, you're not losing anything moving forward. So I'm going to go ahead and give it another one for what lies ahead. So this is the first time in a while we have had all 3 of our criteria met, right? For what lies ahead, for the units itself, and for the banner. There's no else in here for this should you summon, which means you absolutely should summon on this banner. No matter how many stones you have, it is in your best interest to give it your all for these banners. Now, it is worth noting that a couple of good things are in your favor. Number one, if you're pay to play, low to play, there are Dokkan Fest and Carnival tickets. Now, they're not in the data download yet, but we can safely assume they will be there, as they were there for parts 1, and these are both regular tickets and premium tickets, which means you have your shot at a guaranteed featured set there. So I do recommend, if you are pay to play, low to play, you go that route. Get some things going for you as well. If you are, let's see if we can find it here from the assets. There they are. The Global Dokkan Campaign 2025 Rainbow tickets. These are also available by Part 3. There will be 100 of these tickets available. Now, in previous campaigns, you have been able to use these starting in Part 2, but that might not be the case now, since there are, you won't have all 100 by Part 3. So just know that there may be some time that even if you don't pull them with stones, there may be some time and you can still pull them with these tickets. Now, the way these tickets work is basically there will be 2 forms of summons, right? There will be 2 forms of summons throughout the campaign. Number 1 requires 50 tickets, which you should have right now, and you can use it on either the Dokkan Fest or the Legendary Summon Carnival, whichever one you choose to use it on, and it can be from Part 1 or Part 2. And the way it works is if you use the 50 tickets, you have a 44% chance to summon one single character, a 44% chance of getting the new character, and you would be able to do this twice, since there are 100 tickets available through the 2 types. Otherwise, you'll have 100 tickets, 10 tickets each. That's 10 multis for just regular summons, right? So you can take your chance on the single for 44% or go 10 and try to get your luck that way. Honestly, 44%, that's a pretty good rate for a featured unit, even if it is only the one unit. And again, 50 tickets part 1, 100 tickets in by part 3, and we don't know exactly how that's going to be divided up and when exactly you will be able to use the tickets. They don't specify here. I imagine during the live stream reveal they will specify when we will be able to use the tickets, but know that they are there. So no matter what, we are getting, you know, ways to summon and tons more stones to come throughout the rest of this campaign. Remember, this is an anniversary level campaign, and we're already on track to earn as many stones as we had during anniversary, right? Each week we're getting increments of 5 stones, increasing every week, right? This past week we got 35 stones just for playing missions. We'll get more next week, and so on and so forth. So there's plenty of stones on the way, so you have nothing to worry about. So guys, that is it for the video. That is the first time we've ever had a unanimous yes across the board for a should you summon. I definitely recommend you go as much as you can on this banners, and then of course, you know, you have your shot at pity. This is 2,500 stones used to earn pity, possibly less depending on how much you trade in. So even if you do get shafted, there is a chance you might earn enough to at least pity 1 unit if you combine what you summoned from part 1 as well. So guys, that's it for the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and in the comments down below let us know who. I'm not even going to ask if you're going to summon or not, because I know you are. What I'm going to ask here is, who are you summoning for first? Because I know some people are really interested in Omega Shenron. I know everybody wants Carnival Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. So let us know which one you are summoning first in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.